He was a very short-tempered man and would be physically violent, and that actually led to some strong changes in regards to papal power through church history. Boniface took it up a notch for the popes. One of his famous quotes that he made was, "We declare," I'm going to read it here, "we declare, say, define, and pronounce that it is absolutely necessary for the salvation of every human creature to be subject to the Roman pontiff." Okay, so he was making it clear that you must fall under the authority of the Pope in all matters, temporal and eternal, spiritual, political, all matters are beneath the Pope of Rome. That kind of a claim was pretty strong. It hadn't been made. There were people that felt that way, but it wasn't actually issued in official documents until Pope Boniface VIII came along. Now, why did that happen? There was a conflict between King Philip IV of France and Pope Boniface. Basically, what the King of France wanted to do was start taxing the Catholic Church. He saw the great wealth of the Roman Catholic Church and felt like if they're going to meddle in the government affairs, they should have to pay a portion into the governments. They should be supporting the governments. And so he required payment from the Catholic churches in France. Pope Boniface did not like this. He was very angry about it. And so he told the clergymen in France there not to pay anything to the King of France. As a result, the King of France no longer allowed gold or precious stones or silver to be sent to the papal states that the Pope was in charge of. So that cut off a lot of revenue to the Pope. So if the Pope's not going to pay some taxes in France to the King, then none of the wealth in France is going to go to the Pope. So you follow the money and you'll see this great conflict between the Pope Boniface and King Philip IV. So they're going back and forth fighting over this money. And Pope Boniface issues this decree, this declaration. I'm going to try to pronounce it. It's Ausculta Fili. Ausculta Fili is how it's pronounced. And what that said is that every government power, everyone must be subject to the Pope of Rome. When this document that the Pope had signed, put a seal on it, everything, it's official, when that was sent to Paris, right away, as soon as it got there, Philip IV took it and threw it into the flames. He threw it in the fire and burned it up. He didn't want anything to do with that. He was rejecting the authority of Boniface. So Boniface then released the Unum Sanctum, which said everyone is beneath the Pope of Rome. It said what he had said before, but with a little more gusto, basically. He really drove the point home that everyone's beneath him, and even your salvation depends on you being beneath him. So that quote I gave you that he's famous for, it all came as a result of this conflict with the King of France at that time. He was trying to show himself as the most powerful man on earth over all matters. Okay, spiritual, carnal, everything.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. And in her was found the blood of prophets, and of saints, and of all that were slain upon the earth.